I met a gypsy.
I'm ready to trash these old clips that you have from our interview in my office when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah, dude, they got some good play though.
No, they have.
When we like didn't have content and Griff's going through the drives and he's just getting those AC clips, so I'm like, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's crazy though. I feel like you were just kind of getting into it when we sat down. What was 10 years ago?
Well,
almost.
yeah, literally 10 years ago, I think. And so that was for a project that I was trying to get over the line with Red Bull. And it never ended up happening. But one of those, or like that interview in particular, made me think, dude, like you could probably do this. Like I enjoyed that combo with you because it was about like talent. Where does talent come from? Are you born? Is it nature versus nurture? Like that was the whole kind of line of the conversation. And yeah, I just remember leaving there being like, one, AC's a fucking G. And then two, I was like, I think I could probably do this. Like this is actually quite cool.
I remember it too. You were kind of the first one to kind of ask me some introspective questions. You know, some things I had the answer to that I hadn't been asked.
Yeah.
I look back and obviously I've kind of grown into more of somebody that's, I guess a little bit more introspective, right? And I think you were kind of the first person to, like, all this stuff I had to say. You were asking me these questions. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Let's go.
And you were so young too, which is crazy because I think you just got to Florida. Like we just said, you just bought that Claremont house and yeah, you were just like pro circuit. I think you still had like a bell helmet and Thor on when we filmed like that day.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, I thought I was so grown up at that time too.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you were. Like, obviously, in comparison to 10 years down the road, no. Yeah. But I mean, I think you were probably, what were you, 16?
Yeah, I think I was 17 in that interview right there.
Dude, and you grew a lot, like even physically, like mentally, everything. It's crazy.
A lot. I think mentally, I've always been just hanging around older people. So, and I just think the sport and pressure and all that kind of helps you mature. But man, I just, in terms of my physical stature and just how I looked, even sometimes I'll watch some old races from then, 2014, 2015, and especially 14, my rookie year. I'm like,
dude, I saw a clip the other day from that, and I'm like,
who let me out there?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, he probably shouldn't have been racing.
When I made my pro debut in 2013 in outdoors, I was like 114 pounds.
That's crazy on a PC bike.
Yeah, the thing absolutely ripped. Hit Larocco's Leap second lap. His claim to fame.
Probably
the best part of that year.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. But I remember that interview definitely. I'd never really done anything like it. It was just a little kind of side project, and yeah, I mean, probably was a big part of like the start of the podcast. Wish I started it literally back then, but. Hindsight.
Well, you've done great things since, man. I'm a fan of your work.
I appreciate it. I'm a fan of your podcast too, actually.
You like it?
I really do. Yeah. I couldn't believe how fast you guys got the Iron Man one out. Easier when you're only doing audio.
Yeah, a lot easier.
But dude, I was pumped. I literally listened to it. I'm obviously on the West Coast. So, you're on the East Coast. So I was sitting there doing some work and I was like, dude, I can crush a 40-minute potty right now. Piece of piss.
Right. We've been trying to keep it at like an hour.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I don't want it to take up too much of my time.
Yeah.
Obviously priorities. So it's not something that's really scripted. I have some ideas in my head and we kind of just turn on the film, turn it on and start talking. But Converge Media, Shane Doyle, who's my co-host, that's his company. He does my social media now.
Do a great job, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And they're awesome, and they helped me do brought the vlog back this past weekend for Iron Man. So just all this kind of stuff that I guess used to be a bit of a distraction, because they're there, a resource for me. I'm able to, because I want to put out content that I'm stoked on.
Yeah,
something
100%.
that contributes uniquely
to the culture.
To the culture, just to anything. I don't want to just be. I just got burnt out on it, really. I mean, I've been on the social media thing I caught it right at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Kind of my last few years at amateurs was, I think Instagram was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And so now I've been able to kind of outsource that, and it's been great. So I'm able to do this podcast and bring back vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I was like trying to film and edit all that stuff myself, and it was just too much.
Dude, it's my full-time job and I don't do that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I'm a perfectionist too, which I've been working on. But it would take me. I had Final Cut Pro, everything, man.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like it's definitely a distraction if you're doing it all yourself. But if you're not doing it all yourself, it's an outlet. Like I look at it in a completely different way. Like I heard that Alden shut down Craig's podcast. Basically, it's like Craig was doing his thing,
right?
And then it's like distraction. Can't do it. You can't win if you continue to do this. Which it sucks to hear that that's the way that things get treated, because they have a huge following. You know, he's got like a brand as his family, even, you know, like the Craigs. It's not just him. But I think that, if you can get it to the point where you're not doing any of the editing, you know, if you're just sitting down and doing the show and leaving, then it just becomes an outlet. And I mean, for me, it's like that now. Like I don't do any editing. I don't post any clips. I don't make any of it. It's all done by our team. And dude, my quality of life has just gone through the roof.
So much extra time
because of it, you know.
And you can focus more on the content itself and not worry about the rest.
Yeah.
I think it's all about, when it comes to distractions, things like that, it's all about your relationship with it, right? Yeah. I mean, you see, to take probably the best athlete in the United States, LeBron James, and how many he's got the uninterrupted and he does all these different things.
That's
so I mean,
so
just one example right there of mainstream sports. I feel like Draymond Green has his podcast. There's so many different guys that are competing at the very top level of sports that do have some other outlets. And for me, it's always been about balance, because naturally all I want to do is train, sit in my house, and think about dirt bikes all the time. You know, it's just,
and there's a point of diminishing returns there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's about balance, having an outlet, and obviously creating cool content in the process, but it's all about your relationship with it. And you got to be able to prioritize things, of course. But I think the general perception of, if you're doing anything besides this, it's just not, it's just not real. It's just not real.
Yeah. We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.